Shalom, this is your brother Debar. I want to continue a small series on a lesson regarding Esau that I had started a couple weeks back. Before I get into it, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach Kadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom rule and teach well, of whom I have the blessing of learning from daily. So on my channel, if you go back and you take a look at the videos that I've got, you will see one that's called Who is Esau, in which we go through Genesis 25 and 27, describing who he is. And I just want to do a quick recap that Esau is Edom. Esau came out red, and he's changed his name to whom we now call the so-called white man, because in Genesis, when they were born, Esau came out red, which is exactly who these so-called whites are. They're not white. You take a gallon of milk and you put it next to a so-called white person's skin, there's a big difference. Big difference. They are red. So, in continuation with the lesson, now that we've established in the previous video who Esau is, we need to establish, or I want to show what his lot is, what his role is. See, we all know the story, even, coming out of Christianity, we all know the story of Israel. We all know about his chosen people, which the true Israelites are the so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. But so all the Bible and every mainstream church, every mainstream religion tells you who Esau is. It tells you who Jacob is, but they don't tell you who Esau is, and there's a reason for that. So this series is going to be a dive into who Esau is and what his lot is, because we know who Jacob is and we know what his lot is. But for us to get the full understanding and for the picture to be painted that much more perfect, for you guys to see it, for one to truly acknowledge that the Bible is only that the Bible and salvation is only for the Israelites, we have to know who Esau is. Because let us bring into fact that Yahweh is not coming back to save everyone. He's coming back for judgment. And there's one specific group of people, which is Esau, who is going to be judged and destroyed. So let's get into the scriptures here. I want to bring up Genesis 36 and 8. And you brothers and sisters will have to excuse me. I'm driving. My schedule is... I'm consistently working at my job, or I'm either working at my house. I'm trying to get things to where they need to be. And so it's very... Not trying to make up... It's difficult for me to get some alone time, and so a lot of my messages I do while I'm out and about driving on this phone here, which happens to be a spare phone. I used to have service on it, but there's no connection here. Anyways, so I say that to say this. Please forgive me for this. Having for it coming looking discombobulated. Please bear with me and lend your ear to the message that I'm putting out, and not so much, don't fixate your eyes so much on the presentation. Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay, plain and simple. That's the recap, all right? That's the recap. So now, again, we know what Israel's portion is. We need to read what Edom's portion is. Obadiah. Oh, there you go. Obadiah 1. Edom will be humbled. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Against who? Against Edom. Okay, the heathen has heard a rumor. Yahweh has put it into the mind of the heathen and all the heathen nations to go to battle with Esau. This is prophecy. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Again, this is talking about Esau, Edom. And we see this today. This chapter in Obadiah is going to show you that Edom is destined for destruction. So that blows apart the Christian doctrine that the Most High loves everyone and that everyone can be saved. Because here you have a full chapter solely for the destruction of Edom. Okay? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Who's that talking about? It's talking about Edom. Who is Edom? It's talking about America. It's talking about the so-called white man. We see through this past 4 years of presidency with this, Joey B there in the White House. We see that America's presence on the world stage has begun to dwindle. Whether he's falling off steps, mumbling, or promoting the transmission day. I say transmission, though it's not transmission. The transmission rainbow people. He's been promoting that, and so everyone is starting to see the bad history and really starting to get fed up with America. If you compare America to the 1970s, 1980s on the world stage compared to now, there is no reverence towards that name anymore, Before, Americans could go into other countries and, have their noses high up in the air and say, I'm American. Now, you go down to, Mexico, they find out who you are. They will rob you. There's countless videos of soldiers on TikTok being tongue lashed by other citizens of other countries, man, because they're tired. They see what America has brought to the world, and it's just pure destruction, bad wine. Let's continue on, verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, you that dwelt in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, this is Esau, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You see, America is at the end of its golden stage, but America's a prideful country. Who shall bring me down to the ground? America will never fail. No. It's gonna fail. Just like in Egypt, in the middle heat of the Egyptian civilization, if you would have, no Egyptian would have ever had the idea that Egypt would fall to ruins. No Aztec warrior or Aztec emperor or Chinese emperor. You take any civilization at the height of its excellency, if you will, they would never think that their civilization would fall, and that's where America is at right now. But it will fall. It's predestined to fall. Continue on. Verse 4. For thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, says Yahweh. Okay, though he exalts himself like the eagle. What's the emblem? What's on the dollar bill? What's on every currency? though he set himself above the stars, what was the first thing they said when they so-called landed on the moon? The eagle has landed. And though you set your nest among the stars, those stars being Israel, though you try to make yourself high and try to tell people that you are the chosen people, how do you do this? By painting and giving us a white so-called Jeebus, which in actuality is Caesar Borgia. Though you do all these things, though you lie and try and fool the nations and tell them that you went to the moon in 1960s, though you build yourself up as a mighty savior, Yahweh will bring you down. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Just would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes? What this is saying is, when a thief breaks in, when judgment comes, do thieves not take everything? And that's exactly what's going to happen to Esau Edom. This is the judgment of Esau Edom. Yahweh doesn't love everyone. Esau has to be destroyed and is prophesied to be destroyed. Okay? So what this verse is saying is that when judgment comes, when that thief comes in this parable here, doesn't the thief take everything? I mean, if a thief breaks into a bank, he's stuffing his duffel bags. He's taking everything. I want all of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what this verse is saying. So when the day of judgment comes, he's taking everything with great indignation, everything, and rightfully so. And it even gives us another parable of the grape gatherers. When you go out and pick grapes, don't you take the whole vine? Don't you take that big cluster? You take it all. You don't go out to pick grapes and pick one or two grapes. And this is showing us how great his destruction will be. Yahweh's not coming down just to spank his ass and call him good. Babylon isn't going to fall for a short while and then get back up. Those 1,000 years are over. Okay? Babylon is falling. Esau is going to fall. That's what this is saying. How are the things of verse 6? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And we see this going on every day. The brothers are posting videos up every day, and a lot of the content is coming from TikTok, which is why America wants to ban TikTok, because there's a lot of truth in TikTok that shows a lot of the bad history, which we will get into. That it shows a lot of bad history of America. There's videos on TikTok that you will not find on YouTube. Why? Because YouTube has YouTube bends the knee to the American politics. You're not gonna find no interview of Vietnam soldiers in YouTube as easy as you will find it on TikTok. You're not gonna find views of other news channels from across the globe on YouTube where they are being critical of the United States as you will on TikTok, and that's why they want to ban it. But verse 6 is prophesying that the hidden things of Esau, which is his bad history, are being revealed. And that's exactly what's going on. 7. All of the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat your bread have laid a wound under you. There is none understanding in him. Even the allies even allies are starting to turn against America. We see this through the BRICS nations. You guys have to, for the younger generation, you guys have to keep in mind, America in the 1990s, in the 70s, compared to now, has lost its grand standing on the world stage, man. America gave the world the petrodollar after they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki. And now you have other nations joining the BRICS nations, which is going to be a currency that's designed to bring the dollar down. Do your own research, but from what the last that I heard about it, one BRICS dollar, or I may be using the term wrong, but one brick currency is 54 times more than $1. That's what this verse is going into. The allies have forsaken him. Shall I not in that day, says Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Every high noble king will be brought down, man. So I just want to take a quick break here because I don't want to make this video too long. But we're only 8 verses into Obadiah, and the Christian doctrine has already been thrown out the window. I want to continue to read this more, but I would encourage those to go and read the rest of it. I don't want to make this a long video, but I was listening to a message from the elder in South Carolina, Anat Zappa, and he was going in, and just, something in my spirit told me, hey, you got to do your own message. And I remembered that I was supposed to do a series on Edom. We know who Esau is. He's a so-called white man. And Obadiah is one of many chapters that talks about the destruction of Esau-Edom. Okay? Esau. So who is Esau? That's very important. Esau is the so-called white man. And what is the lot of Esau? Can he be saved? No. Yahweh's coming down to trample and to lay to waste Esau. Now, if you're still on the gate about, man, could it really be the so-called white man? Because, truth be told, I come from when I was young, I started as a Democrat, and then I started leaning more towards Republicans because I saw, before I came into the truth, I saw the wickedness that was taking hold of the world. And for a while, it was difficult at first. Well, not difficult, but it was very different, completely different when you've never heard somebody call the so-called white man the devil. But when you look at the scriptures, who is Esau? Who are the characteristics of Esau? Well, he's red, okay. That's, sounds like the white man. What's his, who is Esau? How is he described? As somebody high, somebody that has a fortified city, somebody, you start to look at these characteristics and you're like, damn. And then I want to present to the newcomers, I want to present to you guys Habakkuk 2, which goes right in line with Obadiah. Let me see here. There you go, right here. Verse 5 here. And I'm going to continue reading probably down to 8. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine, He is a proud man. Who is that? Well, when it's talking about wine here, wine goes into philosophy. And, it says that he transgresses by wine, which, that's what Esau does. He goes throughout the globe, passes on his policies, his way of life to other nations. And he causes them to drink of that wine. And if you don't fall in line with what Esau, the so-called white man, wants, he puts these sanctions on you. He cripples your country. Let's continue on. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. And we see that going on because he's got his tentacles in at damn near every country. There's only a handful left that haven't bowed the knee to America, like Cuba, and you see all the strong sanctions on them. Russia, you see how they're being treated now, a proxy war at the behest of America. Continuing on, and is as death, cannot be satisfied, but gathers unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. He cannot be satisfied. And we see even Edomites, even low-level Americans on TikTok, saying, hey, this is enough. They're starting to go against America too, because they are starting to see that, they call them the low levels when they speak out against Esau. They're speaking out against Esau, but they don't have the full understanding of who they're speaking out against, because they'll use terms such as the deep state, the Illuminati, the powers that be, those in charge, the 1%, the Rothschild, the bankers. They're starting to, the low-level people are starting to speak out against it, but they're not all the way there yet, because if you look at all the deep state, the Rothschild, the bankers, the Illuminati, it points to one group of people. One group of people, okay? Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? Who's it talking about? It's talking about Babylon. It's talking about America. Woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? It goes right along with what we just read in Obadiah. It's talking about the heathen nations, all these other nations rising up against Babylon, Esau, Edom. Continuing on. Verse 8. And I think, I don't know what I did there. I think I'm going to stop it here, but verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and you are a bloody man. Look at what he did. Look at what he did in 30 seconds in Nagasaki. Look at what he did to the so-called Native Americans. Look at what he did to the so-called blacks. And, look at what he did to the so-called Japanese in the internment camps. Look at what he did to the 1 million Iraqi civilians that died over the lie of weapons of mass destruction. Look at all the Ukrainians who he's caused to die in their proxy war. He is a bloody man. And why the fuck is he even in Ukraine? He already has America. He already has France. He's got Europe. He's plundering all of the gold from Africa. He's got Taiwan with the semiconductors. He's got a ton of oil here just in America that a lot of people don't know about. But what else do you want, man? But that's why the scripture says he is never filled. He is as death. That's why he has to be stopped too, man. Because if he doesn't stop, he's going to keep pushing these chemtrails. He's going to keep pushing these, VAC, kings, He's going to keep pushing these viruses. He's going to keep pushing this critical agenda of you have to call this thing whatever it tells you to call it, or you're going to lose your job, or you have to bow down, Russia. I mean, we're at the point of the third woe here, man. The third world war because of him. Because of his proxy war, That's why he has to be stopped. And that's what his lot is, man. That's what his lot is. Continuing on to verse 8. And for violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covers an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. Well, wait a minute. Doesn't that sound like Obadiah? Though he set his nest though he rise up like the eagle and try to set his nest in the stars. It was talking about man, I don't know what I did here. There you go. It was talking about Esau, Edom, and that's exactly who Habakkuk is talking about here too. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. Obadiah 1, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. It's talking about Edom. Habakkuk 2 is talking about Edom as well. Taking the land. It's talking about Edom. Continue on. That he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and have sinned against thy soul. So, again, I don't want to extend this message out too long, but I just wanted to put the scriptures out there and show you the lot of Edom. There is no salvation for Edom. He will be humbled. The Bible comes down to the story of two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Okay? And from Jacob come the 12 tribes of Israel, and from Esau comes the white man. That's what the Bible comes down to. It's the story of two brothers who turn out to be two different nations. There's the good guy, and then there's the bad guy. Israel being the good guy, Esau being the bad guy. We know who Israel is, the so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. And we know what Israel's lot is. At the end is salvation. Now, through the first lesson that I put out, we know who Esau is. And now with this message, we know what the lot of Esau is. Destruction. So, if you ask a Christian or a Catholic, does God love everyone? And they say, yes, that's because they're under the spell, that false doctrine, that bad wine that Esau himself has pushed for. Because if they say yes, then ask them, okay, well then what about Esau? And for those that, want to, say, oh, well, he's just reading from the Old Testament. Let's go into Romans 9. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So even in the New Testament, Yahweh doesn't change. He loves Jacob, which is where the 12 tribes come from. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. And Esau, he's hated. That's in the New Testament. You cannot get away from that. Okay? And so, if he hates Esau, well, we got to go to the Old Testament, which is what we just did, Obadiah and Habakkuk. So, God doesn't love everyone, and Esau is destined for destruction. there you have it. Take your own time to go ahead and read through Obadiah, Habakkuk, and Micah. And then there's even more chapters of judgment regarding Esau in Jeremiah and Isaiah, man. It's all over the Bible, but as a Christian or a Catholic, you don't know about this because you're under the spell of a Edomite religion that was created to hide himself so that Esau in his mind can delay his destruction. But you can't hide from the Most High. You can't. So I hope this lesson has been edifying. I would recommend that you guys read Obadiah, and there you have it. Esau can't be saved. He's destined for destruction. And with that, I say shalom.